Is Trump trying to crush the US dollar intentionally? During yesterday's video, I highlighted how Trump may be weakening the US dollar on purpose to help cross off some of the things that he intends to do as president. And we went through some of the pros as to why it actually wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. But let's talk about the negative consequences of weakening the US dollar. But before we do, my name is Rick. I hope you turn daily news into daily profits. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you follow this page. And also go back and watch my video from yesterday so that you can make an educated decision if this is a good idea or not. The first major negative would be the cost of imported goods. It's no secret that Trump wants to put America first and bring back American manufacturing. But things like oil, gas, electronics, all those things come from different countries, which means the cost of those things would go up on top of anything else that we imported into the United States. And obviously, if things cost more to bring into the United States, that means that consumers also pay more. Next would be how much this impacts Americans' purchasing power. With the weaker US dollar, the dollar just doesn't stretch as far, meaning that it's going to cost you more money for the same products that you've been buying for years and years and years, and everything just becomes more expensive across the board because the dollar just isn't worth as much anymore. And this includes things like those imported goods that we talked about, but also vacations would become more expensive. And if you bought anything from a foreign country, like a vehicle, that would also be more expensive. Next would be the significant impact this would have on inflation and interest rates. Donald Trump has been vocal about the Federal Reserve lowering interest rates because he says there's no inflation. But if he continues to weaken the dollar more and more, that will only drive inflation higher and higher, meaning that the Fed would have no choice but to continue raising interest rates. And if that happens, we get more costly borrowing. So higher interest rates on things like mortgages, credit cards, and personal loans. Therefore, doing the opposite of what Trump is actually looking to do. And then there's wealthy investors who wouldn't really have much of an incentive to continue investing into America. Usually they invest in things like bonds because bonds are safe in a stable country like the United States. But if the US dollar keeps weakening more and more, they could just as easily invest into other countries where the currency is valued a little bit higher and is a little bit more stable than what we've seen over recent years, therefore drying up liquidity and investment into the United States. And last is that global confidence in the US dollar would fall. Right now, the US dollar is the global reserve currency, meaning that when trades happen, they happen in US dollars across the globe. And the reason why is it's safe and it's stable. If there starts to become uncertainty and more risk in the US dollar, countries could simply start trading in a different currency. And that wouldn't be a good thing for America. Although there are a lot of positives that go into weakening the US dollar, there's just as many, if not more, negatives. So is Trump purposely trying to weaken the dollar? Well, we won't really ever know, but at least now you know the pros and cons of a weak US dollar. And if you like content like this and want more, make sure you like and follow.